Hello, marketers. Welcome to another episode of Digital Marketing News, and I am your host, Sanidhya Baveja. Before we start, I want to ask you how many of you use Microsoft Ads? Because if you do, then let me know in the comments below if you have received the new design template, which is in beta testing and has been rolled out to everyone now. So, did you receive it? And if you received it, then how similar is it to Google Ads interface, and what are your opinions regarding that? Now let's move to the news section without wasting any time. So first news is from Google, and our first section as always is Google. So in Google Ads, the report editor now allows 200 accounts. So it's a very big news for the agencies. Google Ads has expanded the number of accounts you work within report editor from 10 to 200. So agencies and enterprises will be able to create reports and run analysis potentially across the full set accounts in their manager accounts within the Google Ads interface instead of having to download the data. So this is a big news for all the agencies out there. Moving on, Google commits $340 million in Google Ads credits for SMBs. Google, in order to support SMBs, will credit ad credits in the account in coming months. These credits will be usable throughout the year 2020. SMBs will need to have had active Google Ads accounts since January 1, 2019 to be eligible for this particular thing. Google is also committing $20 million in ad grants to community financial institutions and NGOs to run PSAs on relief funds and resources for SMBs. Well, here the situation still seems cloudy as there are still several questions which are unanswered. For example, how much will the typical business receive? How far the ad credits will stretch, and will they come in time to actually make a difference? Well, hope this ambiguity is solved by Google, and as soon as it is resolved, I'll cover it and let you all know. Moving on, there are going to be changes made in dedicated Google Ads representative support for small and mid-sized agency partners. The agency representative program undergoes a review every quarter. These changes are not related to the ongoing COVID-19 crisis. They are part of a routine review where we evaluate our support level for all agency partners. Status as a premier partner does not impact their agency representative status, as per the statement given to Search Engine Land by Google. The timing of these couldn't have been any worse, as everyone knows. But the time waits for none, and Google also would have taken this decision under a lot of pressure because they are already giving so much in donation and they know what people are going through. So I think they would have diligently taken this decision and come to this particular conclusion. Google Ads ends monthly campaign budget test. So any campaign which is using it will be switched to daily budgets if any of the person or any of the agency is still using it when it was in beta testing. So the test began in September 2019. For those that had access to the beta, advertisers could set a monthly campaign budget, but Google would still use its average daily spend calculation to try to manage the pacing and the pricing. So in the example, I would give you that if it is $1,000 per month budget, then the average daily budget would have been $32.89. Moving on to Google Search Console. So email and performance report preferences are added in Google Search Console. So you can now control to show the performance report of your property in search results, as well as you can now tell Google which types of emails you want to get from Google. So the preferences are still over there, and you can go into the settings and accordingly choose what suits you. Moving on, Google released best practices guides for health organization around COVID-19. So the best practices guides cover these 5 things: how to help users access your content on the go, the importance of good page content and titles, ways to check how your site appears for coronavirus related queries, how to analyze the top coronavirus related user queries, how to add structured data for FAQ content. Google ends support for datavocabulary.org structured data in rich results. So I guess this was already coming, and a last reminder to switch to schema.org markup before April 6 to maintain rich result eligibility has been already been given to everyone. So if you haven't converted to schema markup for your structured data, your rich results will disappear from the search results page after April 6th. That could mean a loss in organic visibility and traffic. Therefore, Google has been issuing warnings to site owners about pages that use datavocabulary.org as earlier as from January, I hope so. Check your Google Search Console messages to view any warnings and resolve the issue before April 6th. But it is already past April 6th, so you should have resolved it. And if you didn't resolve it, then ask yourself the question, why the hell you didn't do it in the first place? Well, moving on to YouTube, well, YouTube is working on Shorts. This Shorts is basically a TikTok-like function. So they are in the business to give competition to TikTok. So Shorts will include a feed of brief videos posted by users inside Google-owned app YouTube. And YouTube will take advantage of the video services catalogs of licensed music which it already has on its platform. And this music or songs, whatever you call, will be available to use as soundtracks for videos created by users. So currently TikTok doesn't have an effective monetization process in place in order to rival what top creators can earn by publishing the same content on YouTube instead. Therefore, just like Vine, they are facing an issue. So if TikTok doesn't do something, they are headed towards the same road as Vine did years ago. Mark my words, TikTok will not be the future if it didn't help users to get monetization properly. Moving on to Facebook. So Facebook adds gift card discovery tool. As we came across in the last episode where Jane, reverse engineering expert as we all know or we call, pointed out that Instagram was testing a gift card tool. Well, this week Facebook rolled out the gift card tool for SMBs. Well, Facebook is one step ahead of Instagram right now. They didn't just test it, they even launched it. The purpose is still to keep the SMBs stay afloat amid this situation. In addition to this, Facebook is also adding a new option that will enable business owners to create personal fundraisers on Facebook in order to call on their customers for support and various other purposes. Moving on to another update, which is from Facebook itself. So new options are added in the update service changes page by Facebook. So business can access this feature by going on to the page settings, then page info, then hours, and select temporary service changes. There, they can either indicate that a location is temporarily closed or select from the multiple options under the open with service changes like online services, delivery, pickup, other changes. So any change you make will be reflected on your business page in page previews when people come across them in the app, in search results, and in curated lists of local resources on the platform. So these are the places where that will appear. The annotations will make it easier for users to quickly understand the availability. So moving on to another update where Facebook is testing an auto status feature for Messenger. Well, this update looks similar to the one we have in the Thread app. Therefore, I won't be covering it much and you can yourself go in the show notes below and check this out. So tell me in the comments below, what do you think about the update and how can marketers take benefit from this update? Instagram is looking into adding more than one guest in the live stream. Instagram chief Adam Mosseri in a recent Q&A said, right now you can only go live with one other person at a time. We are looking into if we could expand that, but it's not clear that this is the most pressing thing we can add or to live versus just getting the stability up or adding more features or making it available on web, etc, etc. So these were the words of Instagram chief. The only roadblock which I think they are going to face is in terms of money, as multi-participant streaming is expensive both in terms of video transfer rates and data load, increasing demand in the hosting app system. So let's see if this comes in action, and if yes, then how will marketers use it? Well, on the closing note, okay, first of all, let me tell you, this was all for the day. And on the closing note, I would add a note for PPC experts who are listening to the podcast. There is a sudden change in the trend in India. We are seeing a surge in the desktop search. Let me know in the comments below if you are also seeing the same surge in your region or not. In addition, please add if you have seen any other trend like rise in voice search, especially people from US who are listening to this podcast. So is there any other field in which people are searching more or have shown a very different trend in terms of digital marketing? So thank you for listening, guys, and I think if this particular podcast helped you out, then definitely give it a thumbs up on whatever particular platform you are listening to, and also subscribe to the podcast as I am gonna be covering the news every week, and this would be up every Monday or Sunday. And get your heads up for the week and get your head start for the week. Share it with whoever you think is the person whom you should share it with. And one more shout out to Yogesh who That's it. I don't know why I gave him a shout out. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Yogi rocks. Follow him. His Twitter, his Instagram handle is @yogi404. Okay, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye.